Thank you for staying tuned. This is our one-on-one conversation this morning, and it's all about Carlos Habet and the Belize, as he's a Belize film commissioner and BFX director. What's BFX?
Yes. So it's a Belize Film Exchange.
Belize Film Exchange director. Mr. Habet, thank you so much for joining us on set.
Thank you for having me. It's really always great to be here on Channel 5 and have a lot to share with you guys. So
let's get right into it because we don't have a lot of time, but we have enough to get to the salient points. But I just want to first of all commend you for being persistent in this industry. I've seen how much you've worked and invested, and you have this stick-to-itiveness, if you would. Where's this passion come from?
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. And I think that to an extent, yes, you're right that to stay in this industry, you have to have this passion. Where does it come from? That's a good question. I'd imagine the same place it comes from in you and your team here. But I think from a very young age, you know, I just loved movies. I loved that movies could touch people, and not just that, but I think movies could make people feel connected to each other, right? And it's a form of storytelling, and quite possibly, you know, one of the more detailed and sort of like emotive types of storytelling. And I think too, as Belizeans, and you might agree with me, everyone's a storyteller. You know, you walk on the street, people are telling stories. You know, you go to someone's house, they have a story for you, you have a story for them. So I think we're natural storytellers too, Belizeans. And I think for me, I'm just trying to get this medium over to our storytellers and get them to excel at this medium so that we could tell stories now on film, visually, and not just for ourselves, but for the world.
Is there a movie or a series you can look back to that perhaps was an initial impact on your life?
That's a good question. I think sort of like growing up in like the 90s, it was also like a very strange time for film, and so I would stay up pretty late and watch movies that are, I would say, just strange. There weren't those kind of movies, but they were just experimental and very, very dark type movies. And so for me, it was just kind of like what's this guy's name? Spader, for instance. I think Kevin Spader was his name. He had like a run, which of just, they were just adult. They were too much for me, and I just think that I was like, what's going on? And then I realized that like you could do so many different things. Wow. So those are probably too adult for me, but again, not the adult you're thinking about.
No. We all, it just shows that we all came from different spheres of life with different influences, but here it has brought us together in one room. Now, you all, it's the Belize Film Exchange that's hosting an intensive, correct?
Yeah, so well, the intensive is called the Film Exchange.
Oh, that's what the intensive is called. Okay, tell me about that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So it's a film commission, we're putting it on, but we have like immense support from Niche, really. So they're like the prime sponsor, they're making all this happen. Ministry of Education also is helping us, they're hosting it at the IT Vet for us, and they're also certifying it for us. So all these students, when they're done, they'll have a certificate either like in the one day that they've done, or if they want for the 5 days, which covers many topics ranging from, I think I mentioned to you earlier, screenwriting and directing was yesterday. Today, if you really want to get into the technical aspect, today is, and there's still time to go in, we take walk-ins. Today is cinematography, lighting, grip, and electrical. Wow. Yeah, so that's to me one of the more like core pieces that I think when people think about filmmaking, like that's what they're thinking about, right? Behind the camera. Behind the cameras. Right? So, and then tomorrow I think we have production design, like production sound, producing in Belize. They're gonna actually also talk about things like grants, like festivals, and like how you can be a producer essentially, budgeting. Thursday we're doing post-production and video effects, VFX. And then on Friday, we're wrapping it all up with sound and music and film. Wow. Yeah, and then at the end, we're having a mixer, actually, and it's not only limited to people who took the course, but it's just a networking mixer. So Friday at Spoona's Reggae Cafe, we're having from 6 to 8 a networking mixer where you can kind of go and meet the people who are like partaking. You know that I always say film is like a team sport, and so you need to find other people who have the same passion as you, and I think that's where you can find it. So what's the end goal here with this Belize Film Exchange? So I think on a basic level, we're just trying to raise the standard of excellence of our video industry. So there's two things, is that there's films that are coming in, you know, since I've taken over as film commissioner, we've seen an uptick in films coming in and series from abroad. And they need more people, right, that they could hire here in Belize rather than having to fly people in all the time. So, and these are the same kind of jobs that we're really training for this week. So we feel that this would allow for like, you know, a little more economic stimulation for entrepreneurs or freelancers, one. But two, there's also this idea that we want to just raise the level all around. So even people who are like in marketing departments, who are doing production, like even people like yourself, you might could send your people to get more training. And then just the level of video, even online, let's say in Belize, gets raised too. So there's also that.
What's your thoughts on the idea of us telling our own stories as Belizeans as well? You think we do enough of that? And is it that we are incapable or over capable of doing that?
Well, I think that, yes, is also another, like, I would say, benefit, direct benefit of kind of like learning these trades, really, that's what it is. We can now tell those stories. And so that is also part of my mandate. So I like to sum it up like this. My mandate is to bring the world to Belize, to get them to make films here. But also, to me, I'm supposed to take Belize to the world, and so I'm supposed to take our films out there. Rightly so, we don't have that many films, but I think, like yesterday, for instance, there were people in this class that had full screenplays already.
Wow.
Right? And then what was great about the class, and I have a video that you guys will probably show at some point, they actually taught you not just how to write a screenplay, but how to sort of write stories that people resonate with, which I think that's the goal, right? Is to make things that people can connect with, as we spoke about earlier, and to kind of figure out, okay, well, what kind of story can I tell here, but that resonates with people in another country, another audience, you know?
I think it's so incredible that for you to point out that we actually have people here that have written screenplays that have, but at the same time, we seem to have, as Belizeans, this natural knack for storytelling. A lot of us grew up watching plays, watching skits, as we would call them. How much of that is similar to what we do in film and film production?
I think that the style is different, but I think the expression is there, and you raise a good point. I think Belizeans are sort of used to a type of like overacting, which is very theatrical in nature, right? And that comes from our roots, which is funny. But I think with film, it's a more subtle type of art when it comes to like the directing and the acting. And not to say that doesn't have a place, but I think when you're talking about film, you're talking about a sort of more rooted, grounded, realistic type portrayal in a lot of senses. So I think it's opening up like another avenue for a different kind of storytelling as well. But I think that there's still that place, and I mean, I think that is still uniquely Belizean. And so I would actually want to see too what films look like with that style as well.
Is it, is one day intensive on cinematics and lighting, like what is being taught today, enough?
Well, not necessarily, because I mean, for me, like I'm still learning. I'm always learning, and I think you can never stop learning in a sense. I think what it is more than anything else is a great introduction from a professional who works in the industry in the US, and they understand how things fit together, not just on set, but how people fit together, right? And so I think for me, it's about laying the groundwork and letting people understand, okay, you know, this is how things work. I'll give you this briefer, and now you can kind of take it. And again, this passion you're talking about, you take your passion and you continue developing. And the truth is that there's so many things out there that you could go online and really find, and it's reliable. So I think for me, more than anything else, this was like a proof that, you know, when people see someone doing something, they think, oh, I can do it too. Yeah. I think this is the idea. And so we bring real people, you know, and some of them are Belizean Americans too. Some of them are just Americans. We have someone from, I think, Colombia. And so we have other Belizeans too. There's Belizeans that are teaching, like Alex Evans, for instance, on Friday with the post sound, you know, music in film. You know, it's just a wide range of people to say, hey, listen, I can kind of be a professional in this industry from a lot of different like perspectives, and it's possible. And then maybe someone says, hey, I want to do, you know, music and film, or I want to do grip and lighting, you know, maybe I want to do script writing, I want to be an actor, which actually that's going to be our next intensive. We'll be focused on acting. I'm
sure you'll get a lot of interest in that.
I hope so, yeah, because I think
we have a bunch of actors.
Yes, right. yeah, totally.
So finally, just for the sake of time, there's still room available for people interested and wanting to sign up?
Yes, today is actually the most packed day. We're almost at capacity today. Sheesh. But I'm willing to take overflow. So I would say you could still walk in today, yes. And then remember, there's still tomorrow, there's still Thursday and Friday, and then the week-long pass is actually a big discount over, because it's $75 per day. You could buy it on the niche website, or at this point you can walk in and we just give you a little receipt and whatnot, and you can take part, or you can still get from like today to Friday at a discount too. So there's that. So if to me, for someone that's serious about film, there are a fair amount of people taking every single day. And I think there's still a place for that. But if you want to say, okay, I just really want to learn how to like be on set and, like you said, cinematography, grip lighting, today is the day. It's not too late. I mean, you can kind of come in like now, basically. You know.
What time does it start?
8 to 5. It is pretty intensive because I can tell you yesterday, started a bit late because of opening ceremonies, and they went a little bit later too. So you really get your money's worth, guys. I can tell you, like the classes, they're very engaging. The teachers are great. The students are also, like, from what I can tell, really excellent, and they come prepared. And it's a community already that's building, which I love.
And where?
IT Vet.
IT Vet.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Mr. Habe, keep on doing the great work. Building this industry is something we desperately need, and that I'm certain of. And I'm looking forward to not only bringing films to Belize, but taking Belize to the world. And I think you have the perfect mandate there, and you have the vision and the passion to do that. So congratulations to you.
Paul, thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it. And thanks, Channel 5, for having me. And congrats on the rebrand as well. I love it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, so with that, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we have more Open Your Eyes. We have two more segments. We have Ma Baker and Chef, and we also have Miss Universe, all the Miss Universe delegates. So 2 excellent conversations coming up. You don't want to miss these. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.